Hey everyone, my name is Michaela Jolly-Carswell. I am a double gold consultant and a two-time IATN card holder. And we're going to be talking today on how to be your own boss and how to have the mindset of being your own boss. So the first thing that we want to focus on is building a habit. So we've always heard kind of growing up, like, oh, if you want to stop biting your fingernails or whatever, right? It takes 21 days to break a habit. Well, it also takes 21 days to create a new habit. And what we want to focus on is having a habit to help us be even more consistent. So I have this little phrase here. So discipline leads to habits, habits lead to consistency, and then consistency leads to growth. So whenever we are doing something and it becomes a habit, it's just going to help us be even more consistent, which is going to lead to us being able to grow. A lot of times whenever we are talking about marketing, getting clients, it is one of the biggest things that we talk about is consistency. If you are consistently putting yourself out there, then you are going to grow, right? And I really liked this quote as well. So people do not decide their futures, they decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures, right? So whatever we put our time into for our habits, that is going to help determine our future. So if we aren't being consistent for our business within our habits, then our business isn't going to necessarily grow. But if we are habitually just scrolling on social media but not working our business, then that's not going to help us, right? We're going to continue the habit of just scrolling on social media, right? Without benefiting your business. All right. So, how do we build habits? So, creating habits is also going to help you stay organized. If you have it as a habit, you don't have to worry about, oh, well, where did I put this, right? You're going to be more organized and you're going to be able to manage your time more efficiently. You're also going to have that consistency with running your business as well. So, one of the first things that we're going to talk about is discipline. Having discipline is the key to being able to build habits. Also, we're going to talk about our why, because this is going to go hand in hand with our motivation, right? So how I like to think about it is if our motivation is high, then we're going to consistently do what we want, right? But our discipline is there for whenever we don't really feel like it, right? So we have those two working together. Also, we're going to talk about goals and committing to our goals and how a lot of people are scared to commit to their goals and how we can kind of overcome that. We're also going to talk about taking ownership for your success. We have a huge team and we are all here to help each other, but I can't do it for my agents. I can't do it for a brand new agent that just came in. I can guide and help, but I can't do it for you. So you alone are responsible for your success. We're also going to talk about utilizing a positive mindset, a growth mindset. And we're going to talk about something that I personally love, and that's the 1% better philosophy and showing up for yourself. This quote, I love it as well, just because it resonates a lot with us and having our own business is if you don't build your dreams, someone will hire you to build theirs. And a lot of people, they started this business because they're tired of building someone else's and they're ready to start theirs. So let's make sure that we're doing that and we're building towards our dreams through our habits. So the first thing is discipline. Okay. We have to be able to have that discipline there. Now, whenever we have that discipline, we want to know where to place that discipline. So we want to have our goals and we want to have our goals defined. What is our goal with this business? Is it to be able to travel more? Is it to be able to quit your job, right? Then write down those numbers and have those goals so you understand kind of your target that you're aiming for. Also, you want to be honest about your limitations. A lot of times when people set goals, they're like, okay, I'm going to become platinum in a month. And even though that's strong start, and I applaud you if you can get close to that, that is not a goal that you're going to get within your first month. Right? There's a lot of learning that has to happen. There's a lot of numbers associated with platinum, right? So you want to be honest about your limitations. You also want to be honest about your weaknesses. What is something that you're not the best in? Maybe you love to procrastinate, or maybe you have things that you know that you struggle with. Maybe you struggle with marketing or social media, right? Then have those written down so that way you can strengthen those weaknesses, but also kind of rely too on your strengths. You also want to prioritize and plan as best as possible. You want to have those goals broken down. You want to try to prioritize what needs to be done first. A lot of times, what happens when new agents come in is they just want to train, and they're training and training and training, and training is great, but they forget that they have to also have income producing activities. They have to be marketing. They have to be putting themselves out there in order to get that income rolling in. So they get into this idea of, oh, I don't know enough. I have to train, I have to train, I have to train, instead of, okay, let me train and then let me apply it. Let me train, let me apply it. Right. And being able to apply that knowledge and start with those income producing activities. You also want to find accountability partners. If you do not have an accountability partner to hold yourself accountable and to help hold yourself accountable, definitely try to find one. Put it in the chats. There is an accountability partner thread on Discord that you can always check out. But have someone there to help you. You also want to have that connection with your mentor. Your mentor is there to guide you and to help you every single step of the way. And having that talk with your mentor regularly is going to help you be disciplined. They're going to help you make sure that you're prioritizing. They're going to help you be accountable. They're going to help you with your goals, right? Have a conversation with your mentor about your goals, okay? And your limitations. Talk about it. Brainstorm how you can help with weaknesses that you may have. The big thing with discipline is do it even if you don't feel like it. If you know that you are wanting to quit your job, if you know that you are tired of the current life you're living, then you want to change that. You want to start making an income. You want to start moving towards that. So what are the things that you need to do? Write down the things that you want to do to get towards your goal, and do it even if you don't feel like it, so that way you reach your goal. Okay? Even when you're unmotivated, use your discipline to help you work towards those goals. Okay? Now, like I said before, when your motivation is low, that's where you have that discipline. So in order to keep your motivation high, remember your why. Why did you start this business? Why did you say yes to this opportunity? Because I want you to give yourself daily reminders of why you want to achieve what you want to achieve. Okay? Maybe you're tired of working paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you're tired of having someone tell you what to do all the time and you want to be able to fire your boss, right? Then use that as motivation. Every day that you have to go to work, use that as motivation to, I need to work on my business today so that way I don't have to go to work this morning. Okay? Keep your inspiration in your sights so that way it never runs dry. Okay. Have your goals up. Have a vision board. If you do not have a vision board for 2025 yet, create one. Put it in your office. I'm going to create one on Canva just because that takes me less time. So I'm going to create one on Canva and put it on my wall here so that way I have it on my wall. Okay. So create a vision board. Canva has a bunch of different ones that you can get. Super easy to put your goals on there and put it up somewhere where you can see it. It's important for you to be able to see it. Okay. Now, a lot of times what happens when people go to goal setting is they may set a couple of goals, but they don't actually commit to them. A lot of times, what people have issues with whenever they start this business is committing to their goals. They don't want to say, hey, I'm going to do this because they're scared of failure. Okay. They have this fear of failure to where, oh, well, if I start this, I could fail, but I want to act like I'm in it, but I'm really not. That kind of mindset of, well, I'm scared of failure is only going to lead you towards failure. Instead, have your goals, commit to making them a reality, and work towards those goals. Don't underestimate the power of a to-do list. I love checking my boxes off. It gives me so much satisfaction to be able to be like, check, right? So have that to-do list, have that little motivation to get those boxes checked. It'll also help you create your routine, which is going to help you with your habits. You should have your goals written down from goal setting. Commit to those and make them a reality, but don't just let them sit there either. You want to break them down into tiny steps. What I recommend is having maybe it's a 30-day goal. Okay. What do I need to do within those 30 days every day to make that 30-day goal happen? What about a 60-day goal or a 120-day goal or a yearly goal? Right? Let's break those down into steps so that way you are constantly working towards that goal. And if you are consistently working towards that goal, you're going to accomplish that goal. Okay? Chase after those goals and make them happen. You also want to reward yourself for each step in your goal. So if you reach your 30-day goal or your 60-day goal or 120-day goal, create a reward for yourself outside of the reward of getting that. So if you are wanting to be an IATAN card holder, let's say that. You don't want to just say, oh, well, then I'll be getting commissions. That'll be my reward. No, you want something separate from that. Maybe you want to have a nice dinner with your family, right? Or you and your significant other go on a date night. You want to have some type of reward that is outside of the reward of accomplishing that goal. Okay. What my professor, I had a professor for psychology, what she used to do is if she worked out every single day, then she would be able to take a shower that night. That's what she would tell herself. Now she just loves showers. So she would shower in the morning before school started, but in the evening she really loved to be able to just take a shower and be clean for bed. But she would not take one if she didn't work out that day. So she set that as small rewards along the way to help her get to her goal, right? Of working out consistently. So maybe you want to have small goals for yourself. Hey, if I do this, then maybe I'll get this for myself, or maybe I'll do something fun with the family, or maybe we'll go to the children's museum this weekend, right? Whatever the case may be, but set smaller goals for each step, but then also set a big reward for whenever you accomplish your goal. For me, I really want to get platinum, and I've been really trying to get platinum for a while. And I am trying to figure out what my rewards should be. I've played with it a couple of times, tried to do some different things, maybe eat at a really nice restaurant and do like a multi-course meal, or because I'm a foodie. But I don't know yet. I'm trying to set that for myself. And one thing too is you want to avoid procrastination. Procrastination isn't going to help you reach your goal, right? Action is going to help you reach your goal. You also want to have ownership of your success. At the end of the day, you alone are responsible for your success. This is your business, right? Your mentor can't do it for you. Your team can't do it for you, right? We can help along the way and we can guide, right? But we can't do it for you. You have to be able to put the work in. You have to chase what you're wanting, right? And what that might look like is if you put something in the chat and you don't get an answer on it because things get skipped, then you need to reach out to, or you need to put the comment in again and tag a leader. Maybe that means you need to be reaching out to your direct mentor. Maybe that means that you want to go on the website and try to see if you can find those answers, right? You want to make sure that you are getting the answers that you need, right? And we're there to help you every single step of the way as much as we can. Okay. But we're human. Use your tools to help you and then take action. So there are so many different resources for you. Not only with Travel Cafe and the Evolution back office, but within our website, within our Discord, within all the things that we have for you, there is tons and tons of information to help you, tools to help you, vendors that have that can post to social media for you. There are so many tools to help you be successful in this business. So use those tools and take that action. To work your business and to really take ownership, there has to be some type of sacrifice. So you can't live the life that you lived before and expect to be successful in this business, right? You have to find time. You have to cut out time to work this business. Maybe that means instead of getting caught in a reel vortex, like I like to call it, where you just keep watching reels, you are going on your business and you are commenting and you are working your business to have that income producing activity. Maybe instead of watching TV, you go lock yourself in your room and work on your business. Crank out your logo, crank out a reel, make a TikTok, right? There's so many things that we can do to help our business. And if we aren't working towards our success, it's not just going to happen. Okay? So we have to make sure that we are working towards that. All right? Um and again, don't forget to reward yourself for whenever you make those things happen. We also want to utilize a positive mindset. So everything that happens is an absolute opportunity to learn. Okay. I have had a lot of new agents, they will be working on something, they won't necessarily qualify their client. They'll just be like, oh, well, I just sent them a quote, but I just got ghosted. I'm like, okay. Um, so for next time, here's some things that we need to do, right? Yes, you worked on that quote and you kind of you got to practice that, but here's some ways that we can learn from here, right? This is a lesson for you. Maybe they do absolutely everything right. They have their consult, they deliver their quote, they call their client to deliver the quote, they follow up with them, and that person's just like, you know what, we just can't afford this trip. They did nothing wrong, but that's not considered a failure because they got to go through that entire process and practice it. They got to work and practice that consult. They got to practice getting that quote together. So they're going to get better and better as they go through the process, right? So the next client that they come to, it's going to be a yes, they're going to book, boom, right? They have something on the books. So many different things are opportunities to learn. How can I be better from this experience? You want to have that mindset. What is something that I can learn? What is something, how can I be better? What's my takeaway here? You also want to surround yourself with positive people. You are who, what is it? You are who you surround yourself with. If you are constantly with other people who are talking down, that have that victim mentality, like, oh, I just, you know, this just, doesn't work for me. I tried this and it just never works, all this stuff, then guess what? You're gonna start thinking in that same mentality. You want to be with positive people. You want to surround yourself with people who you want to be like, right? You also want to practice positive self-talk and positive affirmations. Okay? Positive self-talk, not getting down on yourself. And positive affirmations. I know it sounds silly. Sometimes people are like, "Oh my goodness, I don't know if I could do that." Right? Write things on your mirror. Write things on your bathroom mirror, right? Have positive affirmations about yourself. Talk positively. Have you guys heard of the classroom experience experiment for teachers? How they'll get two of the exact same plants and they'll have their students talk positively to one. So all they say is positive things, and then they talk negatively to one. They are watered the same exact amount. They are watered at the exact same times. They're in the same spot, so they're getting the same amount of sunlight. Typically, the one that is talked negatively to will die every single time. So if negative words are doing that to a plant, what do you think that that is going to do to you on the inside? Do you think that's going to help you be your boss? Do you think that's going to help you accomplish your goals? To help you get where you want to be? Because it's not, right? So you want to be giving yourself those positive things. One of my favorite things is writing down my daily gratitudes. I have it on my happy planner where I have, I try to write down two. I try to write down one professional and one personal gratitude that I am grateful for every single day. If you want to practice this is great. I highly recommend it. Helps you kind of stay on that positive note of what you're excited about. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm just happy and positive every single day. There's days that I get down in the dumps too. But trying to find that positive amongst negativity can help break you out of that too. And having all those positive things written down that you can look back on can help you if you're feeling discouraged. Okay. Take control of the things you can and accept the things you can. You can only control you. You can't control your client. You can't control people in your life, right? You can only control the things that you can control. All right? Accept the things you can't and move on, right? Michaela is only responsible for Michaela, right? I try to help my agents. I try to do all these things, but at the end of the day, I can't force anyone else to do anything, right? All I can do is make sure that I'm putting my best self forward and that I am being as helpful as I possibly can, being a good mom, being a good wife, right? All those different things. Those are the only things that I can control. Okay? Also, know when to take a break. This is so, so, so important. And we're going to go a little bit more in depth with this in just a moment, okay? This is my challenge for you today, especially within the new year. It's people write down affirmations, they write down their yearly resolutions. Don't let this your goal for this year become a resolution that gets swept under the rug, right? Everyone knows that January at gyms is the fullest they will be all year. Typically, people make it to January, and sometimes people make it to February, and then they peter out. Okay? Don't let your goals and what you want to accomplish in this business become a New Year's resolution. Okay? Make it a goal for 2025. What I challenge you to do, write your biggest goal for 2025, whether that's being a two-time IATN card holder, or to get $100,000 booking, or to get silver or bronze and get your monthly investment covered, or get gold or platinum or whatever, right? I want you to write that on your mirror. I am a what? And put it on your mirror to remind yourself and have that daily reminder of what your big goal is. What are you working towards? Right? That is what I challenged you with today. Now, we want to make sure that we are showing up daily for our business. And a lot of times, what people think is, oh, well, we have to be 100% perfect every single day in order to show up for our business. And that's not the case at all, right? Some days we may be perfect. We may get everything on our to-do list done. And then other days, maybe we're just not feeling so great. There's things in life that happen. Regardless of what we want, sometimes things happen outside of our control. So maybe our days look like this or like this, where we're able to maybe comment on one post, but that's really all that we could have given our business that day. It's okay. As long as you are showing up daily for your business, this is still successful. This is great. But is this reality for most people? No. This is. This is what showing up for your business looks like daily. Some days are better than others. We might have some whole days in there. We might have days where we're barely hanging on. Maybe we almost get everything done, but we had to stop, right? One thing that can help with this too is the 1% better philosophy. Instead of making huge changes, focus on getting 1% better every single day. It's about being better than who you were yesterday. How small, consistent steps make a huge impact. You can look like this and still be consistent. Right? Your days could look like this and you could still be consistently putting into your business. You can still have that consistency. Okay? The 1% better philosophy. Whenever we think about it, it's like, okay, is it better for me to get from 0 to 100, or is it better for me to get 0 to 1? Which one is easier? Which one is easier for our brains? I want you guys to put it in the chats. Which is easier for us to be able to, one, convince ourselves to do, or talk our brains into doing? Which one is easier? Going from 0 to 100 or 0 to 1? Zero to 1, right? It's a lot harder to go from 0 to 100. Because guess what? If we get 1% better every single day, at the end of the year, what does that look like? 365% better. Whereas if we just focus on getting to that 100 and being perfect, guess what? We're only getting to 100%. Instead, if we focus on that one teeny tiny percent every single day on how to get better, it'll be 365 at the end of the year. Okay? That's what we're talking about with 1% better philosophy. And I'm going to show you how to do that in the next slide. It's not about being perfect. It's about effort. When you implement that effort into your life every single day, that's where transformation happens. That's how change occurs. Keep going and remember why you started. Okay, this is actually from someone that I got who is a successful business person. He talks about 1% better philosophy all the time. I learn so much from him, and he owns multiple businesses that are doing great and phenomenal, but he's a little bit of a potty mouth, so I had to, blurt out some of the things in the quote that he had on there, okay? But it's not about being perfect, it's about effort. And whenever we are consistently putting in that effort, that is where that transformation happens. Okay, that's how you start accomplishing those goals and having to create new goals because you accomplished the old ones. Okay. Now, here are some ways that we are going to get 1% better. Okay. So, increasing value. Increasing value could be asking yourself how I can be better. One of the things I have on here is knowledge, even though I spelled it wrong. Knowledge is power, right? Putting into your business and attending a training or doing some research on a topic. That is how you can make yourself better and help you be 1% better. Attending trainings, completing vendor trainings and courses. What that's going to do is it's going to help you learn more and you're going to be a little bit more confident in your skills. Now, I say this, you're going to be confident in your skills and knowledge, but then you still have to apply them. Okay? It is not enough to just attend training after training after training after training. If it is never applied, then you're not going to get to where you want to be. Okay? This isn't just like, oh, I have this little bubble of knowledge in my head, right? It's I have this bubble of knowledge in my head. Now let me utilize that. Let me pull it out as a tool on my tool belt and use it, right? You want to use that with your income producing activities to help you get towards your goals. Okay? And that is how you're going to be 1% better. Consistency, creating that routine, creating that habit, laying out your plans and laying out your daily tasks will help with your regular routine, building those habits, right? So that way you are consistently putting into your business. It's okay if it looks like this. If you're consistently putting into your business and it looks like this, that's fine. Showing up for your business daily is also how you're going to get 1% better. Now, there are times where we struggle, we fail, we miss the mark. Even though we tried our best, sometimes it's not good enough because humans are flawed. We already talked about that, right? Use it as an opportunity to learn. Give yourself grace. Get back on the horse and keep going. Now, sometimes it's one that was a huge thing for us. Maybe we were working on this huge quote and we thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be the biggest quote that I've ever booked in my entire life. Like, I really want to get this. I want to do this and all these different things, right? And we were working on this. We put so much energy into it and it just completely falls apart. It's okay to have a little pity party, okay? It's okay to take a break and say, okay, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to get some sunshine. I'm going to run an errand. I'm going to do some laundry, like whatever, right? Take a break. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself a hug. And maybe write down some of your gratitudes, things that you are grateful for. How even though this fell apart and you're really upset about it, you learned all the things to make that happen. Maybe you learned more about a specific country. Maybe you learned about a specific type of trip that you might be able to sell to someone else and it'll take you even less time to do, right? Write down your gratitudes, pick yourself back up, and continue on. What happens to a lot of people is they get into this set of discouragement. They get in this rut, and then they can't get themselves back out of it. And they start spiraling like, oh, I'm never going to be successful. This isn't going to work for me. I'm not going to be able to do what I want to do. All my goals are not going to happen. Like, they get in this spiral, right? Don't let yourself get in that spiral. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes mental stuff is the hardest. Our own minds are the hardest things to overcome. But make sure, even if you spiral, that you are going to pick yourself back up and continue on. Okay? Write down your gratitudes, talk to your mentor. If you feel like you are spiraling and you're like, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to get myself out of this funk or out of this feeling, right? Call your mentor. Have a conversation with one of us. Call one of your leaders, right? Let us help you so that way you can continue on, right? So here's some additional tips for being a boss, and I have my organization training in the next in about 10 minutes. So I will finish this up so that way we can transition to that in just a moment. But additional tips for being a boss, you want to try to keep a journal. If you love writing, and even if you don't love writing, it's probably a good idea to keep a journal. I am the worst writer in the world. I struggle with writing. So for me, that's like my own nightmare. I probably will never keep a journal willingly. All right. But for some people, writing is like therapy. Journal daily to help you. This can help you track your progress. It can show your growth, right? You can also have an outlet for all your thoughts. Have a place where you can brainstorm new ideas, pick up on patterns, and assess, right? So for me, I have my happy planner and I love my happy planner, and I will write down my gratitudes. I'll write down ideas. I'll write down brainstorming things. I'll write up notes and things, right? That's kind of like my journal, okay? You also want to make sure that you're setting boundaries. Create working hours to ensure that you're not overworking yourself. This will also help your routine to ensure that you're putting into your business daily. Okay? Now, whenever you're creating working hours, I want you to assess your working hours. If you're like, well, I feel like I'm working all day and I'm not getting anything done, then you're probably not getting anything done. Okay? So, if you feel like that, start logging what you're doing. Take note of what you're doing. And here's my question. Whenever you're creating working hours, and if you're feeling like that, like you're spinning your wheels, are you just trying to make the most perfect Canva logo ever? Are you trying to do things that aren't going to make you money? Because the thing with this business, if you are not doing income producing activities, then you are not going to be making an income. Okay? So you want to make sure that you're taking stock. What am I doing? Am I doing enough income producing activities? If you are not getting the income you want, then you want to focus more on income producing activities. Okay. You also want to practice self-care. Taking care of yourself is crucial. You cannot work efficiently when you're drained or trying to put into something with an empty cup. All right. That's not possible. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Make sure that you're eating well, working out, doing the things that make you happy. If you feel like you are so busy that you cannot start a new hobby, then you need to take a look at what you are doing. Right? You need to look at, okay, what does my workday look like? Am I doing the income producing activities? Because if you're spending hours and hours and hours to create the most perfect website, you're missing the point. Okay? Now, you also want to stay organized. Create a system that works for you. Everyone has things that help them work even more efficiently. All right? So create a system that works for you. It'll aid in your routine and your habits and also staying organized. If you stay organized, you're going to get the most, you're going to be using your time efficiently. Okay? And you're going to get more done in a smaller amount of time. And we're going to talk about organization and time management in the next one, and we'll go deeper into this. You also want to read personal development books. This is how you can get 1% better as well. Now, again, we can't just read something and just let it sit there. We want to make sure we're applying those things. So evaluate yourself, what you're doing, challenge yourself to read a certain amount of pages per day. There's some people that'll say, I want to read 1 chapter a day. There's some people that say, I want to read at least 10 pages a day. or I want to listen to 5 minutes of a book. Okay. Now, if you are a team builder, if team building is something that you are wanting to do, Building an Empire by Brian Crothers is a great book. Okay. Atomic Habits is another one that's really great. Not necessarily for team building, just for regular old things. And then what is the other one? I have it over here. Marketing Made Simple. Yeah, that's what it is. Or the one thing. Oops. And I'm putting these in the chat. So if you guys are like, what is she doing? They're in the chat. You have 4 books, right? Now, the Building an Empire is one that's focused highly on team building. So if that's not something that you're wanting or you're interested in, ignore that one. Okay. But Atomic Habits, Marketing Made Simple, the one thing, right? Those are all things that can help you. All right. All right. Does anyone have any questions? I'm going to go ahead and stop